When discussing the state's budget, Democrats and Republicans have consistently found themselves at odds this legislative session. Now we're seeing a rift within the Democratic Party as well. Some Democrats say the governor's budget proposal cuts funding for programs and services that people in Maine rely on. As News Center Maine's Raya Wooten tells us, some believe the solution to the state's budget problems starts with increasing taxes on the rich.
There's a sense of urgency to find reasonable solutions to the state's budget shortfalls with little time left in this legislative session. Some are pushing legislators and Governor Janet Mills to support taxation bills that would press the wealthiest Mainers to pay their fair share of taxes.
It's time to work towards a fair tax system that benefits us all.
Democratic Representative Cheryl Golick and other critics of Democratic Governor Janet Mills' tax proposal say her plan fails to do that.
Because our children can't afford to wait any longer.
Child Care Provider Program Director Charlotte Jacob notes that the governor's fiscal year 2026 to 2027 biennial budget proposes $30 million in cuts to early childhood education programs offered by Maine DHHS.
These proposed reductions are a direct threat to our most vulnerable populations, and they send a painful message that somehow we're willing to balance the budget on the backs of kids, working families, and dedicated educators.
These programs face cuts.
Tax public policy analyst Maura Pillsbury says Mainers can avoid those cuts. She says currently hardworking middle-class Mainers carry the state's funding needs on their backs with high taxes.
Right now, Maine's top tax rate kicks in at just over $63,000, meaning middle-income Mainers like teachers and firefighters pay the same tax rate as millionaires. That's just not fair.
Pillsbury stands behind 3 tax bills, one of which that would create more separation in income tax liability between middle-class Mainers and the state's highest earners. If passed, LD 1089 would create a 2% tax increase for single individuals whose income exceeds $1 million and married individuals filing jointly whose income exceeds $2 million. Pillsbury says this altered tax structure could create $75 million in revenue per year, but Republicans say they won't buy in.
The Democrats have an extra $300 million in spending that they want to pay for, but they haven't shown us any proposals for how they are going to cover that $300 million.
A spokesperson for the Senate Republican office says Republicans are against any and all new taxes, explaining they believe the state suffers from a spending issue and not a lack of revenue. At the State House, Raya Wooten, News Center, Maine.
We reached out to Governor Mills' office today but have not heard back. Previously, she said that difficult decisions have to be made with less state revenue coming in when asked about those proposed cuts in her budget.